Hello, hello, welcome. I'm going to invite you into a refined seat. So give yourself about the next 60 seconds to really find the comfort and coziness of a supported seat. You'll need a blanket at least for this practice and two blocks. And we're continuing our conversation in Rise with Love and the abundance of love that is Lakshmi. I have an inquiry for you. You don't have to answer it out loud, or you can. Have you noticed that as you have been cultivating the opening of the lotus of the heart, which means that we're becoming more grounded and steady, and we're unfolding into who we are in the truth of who we are. And a lot of that requires some deep work. Some of you have been doing some deep emotional work. Some of you have been doing some physical healing. And some of you are, you're in full glory, you're in play, and life is so good. So where have you noticed there's things that have risen to the surface, and as you've been able to put them in appropriate place, have you noticed that life is showing up to show you you're on the right path? And what I mean is this. For example, 2 days ago, a snowplow pushed a bunch of snow in front of my driveway, and it was very heavy, and I was out there moving it. And it was going to take a while, and I was huffing and puffing, and a sweet man just showed up and used his plow and pulled all the snow out of my driveway for me, and then waved and left. And I thought, wow, I didn't ask for that. The universe just gave that to me. And it is a sign that there is kindness, there's generosity, there's a Lakshmi literally flowing. She's showing up to support. And lo and behold, I looked out this morning and the same thing happened. I don't have to clear the area in front of my driveway again. And so somebody has decided that they're going to look out for me, and I feel so grateful. And as I've had a couple of the best ski days of my entire season, I just keep saying out loud, I am so grateful. Oh my gosh, thank you. This is such a beautiful experience. Life is so full. Oh my gosh, thank you. And then I'll come home and I'll find that my shower is leaking and it's full of mold. And, there's this big problem. And it just seems like, oh, okay, let me handle that. So we get all flavors of the spectrum and we get to include it. That's uh, the churning of the ocean. And the more we look at the things that bubble to the surface, the things that irritate us, the things that gnaw at us, the things that put us up against our grain, and we receive them as part of this journey. And we are learning that we get to do something with it. And that's your practice. So forever and always, I don't care how deep the poses go or how big the gesture is on the mat. What I do care about is, are you able to take a posture and receive it as, maybe it's going to invite you to learn how to figure out where your psoas muscle originates and attaches, include that aspect of your being in a back bend. Maybe it's going to ask you to learn how to engage your shoulder blade and hold it there, even as you stretch your arm up over your head. And in both cases, the physical practice is calling us into deeper self-knowing and giving us a puzzle to put the pieces together. And in such a way, we hopefully become more kind and loving. And when we find ourselves having to modify or finding ourselves opening up in a way that we didn't expect to happen, can we just receive that, say thank you? As I mentioned in the beginning of class, we have a muscle in our body called the psoas, and it's the strongest hip flexor. That's its job. It moves the leg into flexion, and it starts up here on both sides of your belly. It goes all the way down, and it attaches to the upper inner thigh. So I want you to see if by pushing through your feet, and especially the strength of your back inner thigh, that you might be able to find the insertion of psoas and squeeze the muscles. And then recognize that that muscle attaches way up high, and you're also going to firm that part of you. Now with the arms wide and the elbows bent, push down through the legs and make that back leg, that insertion point of psoas, make it come alive and allow the origin part of psoas to open forward, chest forward, and then round it back. And then use the back leg, make the leg strong. There's a place in your body called the lumbar dorsal hinge, and it is right where the ribs end. And if we can learn to let the psoas become an extension, and so the back bend starts to happen way up around T12L1, not down low where your sacrum and your lower back unite. So take your back bend higher. Yeah, there you go. Yes. And churn that ocean. And you want to feel held by the strength of the tailbone and the lifting of the sternum. Switch legs. So left leg not too far back. Sink down. Find your core. Open your heart. And from this, the awareness of way up high in that upper inner thigh, you're going to pull the femur bone back and let the heart rise. And there's a curve that needs to go all the way up through the spine. And the top of the throat plays a part in that as well. If you can pull the top of the throat back, that's going to help create strength in the core. And yeah, beautiful. Couple more. Nice. Feels good, huh? All right, now take that and we'll give it even more power. Fold forward. Down dog. Inhale, plank. And knees, chest, and chin. Now you've got two psoas, one on each side, right and left. Keep that upper inner thigh really strong. Pull the belly forward by dragging the hands down and back. And then lift up through the lumbar hinge, base of the ribs. Lower all the way down. Bring your hands behind you, fingertips down on the floor, palms down. Pam, turn your hands the other way. So the palms are down, yeah, finger pads down. I don't know if I've got a cat in the way. He's not feeling good. Come on over here, buddy. Mr. Sneezy. All right. Now, with your forehead down, if you need to look up, you can, but really what it is you're going to push down right above both kneecaps on the floor. And then see if you can tone the muscles around your tailbone to your pubic bone. The pubis coccygeus. And then try to lift the right leg from that inner attachment site of psoas. We'll spin the inner thigh and try to lift the inner thigh and the outer hip. And lengthen the tailbone so much that you don't feel any strain in the lower back. And lower that. Push down right above the kneecaps. Lengthen your tailbone, tone your belly, and lift inner upper thigh. Breathe in. Now lift the pit of your throat your chin, your nose, and your forehead off the floor. Doesn't have to be very far. See if you can float the elbows and the triceps of both arms as that left leg lifts. And exhale, lower. Inhale, lift the right. Exhale, lower. Inhale, left. And exhale, lower. Now, if you need to, you'll watch up here. And this is exactly what we did while we were in that asymmetrical lunge. And there's a bow that's happening at the lumbar hinge from the strength of the inner psoas and a rooting to rise with your breath. Lots of energy around the tailbone. And I'll see if you can do both legs, both arms. Lots of tailbone. Keeping the heart lifted. Bend the elbows, palms forward. Press them down, pull the belly forward, and lift up cobra. Slide the sides of your throat back. And bow forward a little bit to lift the belly. And downward dog. Now, hopefully, you don't need downward dog as a counter pose. It just feels like a good pose. But if you do need it as a counter pose, you can bend one knee at a time and put more length in the waistline. Twist it around. Beautiful. Feet together. Inhale, left leg up. Step through. Please take a block outside your left ankle and put it on high. Lift yourself upright. Turn the right heel down. Big, beautiful gesture. Sweep the right arm wide. And as you do, you'll find warrior two. The pose you know. Find the breath you love. Keeping the shoulder blades on the back. Bend the elbows and wrap the arms behind you. Lift up into your heart space. Push more fully through both legs. So where's the psoas attachment here? Right on the upper inner thighs. Lift that rib cage up and pull the buttocks down. Now, as you bow forward in a humble warrior, really pull the left buttocks down towards that block. Lift the navel like you were folding over a chair. And now keep wrapping the left buttocks down. Roll the left shoulder under the right, top of the throat back, lower ears back. Lean it sideways. So lean into it. Reach that left hand to the block and push down through both feet. Push down through the left arm and spin the right arm along your ear. Looking good. Inhale, unwind. Square your hips. And take the block out of the way, and we'll place the right knee on the floor. Drag that right knee forward and bend the knee. Left hand reaches around to your sacrum. Turn the heart open from right to left. Deep breath. Stretch your left arm back behind you, up to the sky. And this is a weird one. That left hand's going to reach back and touch your right shoulder blade. Now press the base of your skull into your left wrist as you root your tailbone down and under. And here's your sideways cobra. Deep breath in, full breath out. Inhale, lift the navel, spin yourself up and around, Ardha Hanuman. Inhaling lunge, lift the back knee. Downward dog. Inhale, right leg up. And step through. Take your block on high outside the right ankle. Lift yourself up tall. Bend the back knee a little bit, and it will help you find the insertion of psoas. It's way up on the upper inner thigh. Use that part of you to open the hips wide as you turn the heel. Keeping the thighs back and wide, and then pull the right buttocks down towards that block. Lift up warrior two. Take the breath of the heart and dive into it. The Ujjayi breath is here to hold you in presence. And into that deep, beautiful, honest presence with self. Wrap your arms behind. Make the legs even stronger. And a sweet, humble bow. And lift the navel up and over so there's no collapse. Deep, deep. Now the Ujjayi breath has got to be more powerful. This is a challenging pose. And we'll spin it sideways. So as you firm the legs, wrap the right buttocks down, right shoulder and ribs roll under the left, top of the throat back. Press that right hand down. Root through the legs in the right hand as you lift left arm up and over. Inhale, square it up. Lower left knee. Big drag their left knee forward and then bend it and lift your foot. Reach the arm behind. Give yourself a little twist. Remember the knee can go wide, and that'll help create space in that attachment of the right front psoas. Lift up, arm. Reach that right hand to the left shoulder blade. And then gently press your head back into your wrist. Wrap the buttocks down, the tailbone long, let the heart reveal itself. Churning the breath, strong actions in the legs. Inhale, unwind it. And reach it back. Half Hanuman. One of Lakshmi's names is Padmachi, and that stands for lotus eyes. Lotus eyes. So allow your eyes to become like pools, beautiful pools. Inhale, come forward. Downward dog. Soften your gaze, deepen your breath. Inhale to your knees. Child's pose. And we'll take a prayer pose. Listen to the flow of your breath. Your breath is the most honest representation of who you are and how you're showing up to the moment. Let the breath remain sweet and soft as you gently squeeze the knees towards the midline between them. Press your elbows down and lift your forearms and your hands to a prayer pose behind your head. Rooting the elbows, float the armpits away from the earth. And then soften to your own inner radiance. Let your closed eyes become Padmachi, like lotus. Let them dilate and soften. Breathe deeply. Inhale forward and then drag your hands backward. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you for continuing to step in. Have a great rest of your day.